All right, everybody. I'm here today to give you my thoughts on Scooby's latest DVD adventure. It's simply entitled Happy Halloween, Scooby Doo. And I and guys, before I give you my thoughts on the movie, I do want to start this review off by saying, Happy Halloween, Scooby Doo is a delightful Halloween treat, but I do want to specify that I still believe that Scooby Doo and Happy Happy Halloween is still inferior to Scooby Doo and the Goblin King, which is, one more time, despite Warner Brothers' gross inaccuracy, Scooby Doo and the Goblin King is Scooby Doo's first Halloween themed movie. So we start off, it there's a there's a Halloween parade being led by Elmira, the mistress of Elvira, the mistress of the night. And once again, you may recognize her from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and that is again because the creator of Billy and Mandy, Maxwell Adams, did have a hand in writing Happy Halloween, Scooby-Doo. But anyway, we see Elvira um, trying to start off the Halloween parade when all of a sudden there's these thousands of drones rather, being led by a Gotham City's own Scarecrow, aka Dr. Jonathan Clam. I'm just gonna say Scarecrow. Anyway, Scooby and the gang are being forced to try and deal with the Scarecrow's drones. However, or actually, I'll get to that in a moment. Fred is actually on the Halloween for that Elvira is leading, but it's in an effort to trap Scarecrow, and Scooby and Shaggy, like they always do, are a bit resistant to get in the game, but eventually, after kind of hiding out in the mystery machine, through the opening credits, and by basically taking a whole bunch of candy and Scooby acting like a bazooka, that they are able to take down all of the drones, and with a little help from Fred's new trap-setting app, they are instantly able to capture Dr. Jonathan, and Scarecrow is believed to be shipped off back to Arkham Asylum. But first it's revealed that Scarecrow is actually the 53rd most feared villain in the world, and the sheriff and the chief of police are the ones that say that, and the sheriff, as he seems to always do, both in Mystery Incorporated and the previous two movies, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo Curse of the 13 Ghosts. The sheriff warns Mystery Incorporated to basically leave all the leave the law in the hands of the police. But more on the sheriff in a moment. So even after Velma and Daphne, who by the way, Daphne starts off the movie sort of being like this kind of lame, cheap, hyping up the team and almost trying to do it in a rap type of way, but not really, hyping up the team and trying to get Scarecrow to say Scooby and the Gang's villain's famous catchphrase, which is, "I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids." However, right before Scarecrow is shipped off, he does tell Velma that oh, I don't think your night of your evening's over quite yet. In fact, Miss Dingley, I think we're both in the same kind of trap. And before Scarecrow can explain what he means, the prison armored transport is shut. And for the time being, Scooby and the gang go about their Halloween business and trick or treating. And but eventually, after Scooby and Shaggy go off on their own, and Daphne kind of hangs out with Elvira in an effort to try and come up with the perfect Halloween costume. And Velma and Fred say, "Wow, we actually wrapped up the mystery pretty quickly." What they don't know is the real mystery is only just beginning, because after Scooby and Shaggy do some candy eating, that they stumble upon one of Scarecrow's leftover drones, and some cracked truck that contained the bits of toxic waste and what was left of Scarecrow's fear gas, which instantly brings every single pumpkin in the pumpkin patch to life. Scooby and Shaggy, much like they always do, obviously, are the first ones to panic. However, when they do catch up with the rest of the gang, Velma is actually the one to say, "Come on, guys, monsters aren't real, and pumpkins as monsters certainly don't exist." And then Scooby and Shaggy were like, that they were right on us. And then Velma almost says, why don't you guys just get out of here? Because if they were right on your tail like you say they are, where are they now? And Velma spends the whole movie saying this new phrase, "This doesn't fit into my mind palace, and this can't be explained." And another weird thing about Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo is even though the sheriff who 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 I will address more in a second is still on top of Scooby and the rest of the gang. At, at least from the media, at least from the media's perspective, uh, Mystery Incorporated, which I age, that's what they're technically being referred to now as, even though I know that's what Inc. stands for. Mystery Inc. is finally getting the media attention they deserve, and everybody's real positive about that. But eventually, even though Velma can't believe it, the newly it seemed possessed monster pumpkins do end up kidnapping a local reporter, Victoria Hasselbaum, as well as eventually multiple members of Crystal Cove, and it's with the help of Elvira and this father and daughter team of Michelle and Mike, who are dressed up as cowboys, who actually end up kind of being stuck with Scooby and Shaggy for like half of the movie, because they once again, from dealing with the newly christened monster pumpkin, from trying to smash and deal with them on their own. They smell at the bottom of a trash can at a local candy store, but it's also with the help of their their new friend Bill Nye that everybody teams up to basically figure out what's the deal with these monster pumpkins. And Velma, straight up to the very end, is trying to come up with a logical reason that why the pumpkin monsters are there, even going so far as to catch up to the police after the jack-o'-lanterns have pretty much destroyed Crystal Cove and taken everybody in town except for our heroes. Velma even goes so far as to ask Scarecrow what he meant by "we're both in the same trap," and Scarecrow says that he is actually not the one responsible for the festival of fright that they're experiencing this lovely Halloween night. In fact, Scarecrow wasn't even there because he's angry that he's the 53rd most feared villain in the world. He was there because he's just a massive fan of Elvira, and in the movie, guys, Elvira and Daphne kind of do have this relationship, but again, I will say, Daphne just wanted Elvira's costume because Daphne's whole complaint throughout the movie is we can't do any special Halloween parties or Halloween anything because we don't have good costumes. But after the Mystery Machine, and no, it is not explained how the gang finally got the Mystery Machine back after selling it in Scooby-Doo Curse of the 13th Ghost. It it, it is destroyed after being possessed by the main possessed jack-o'-lantern. But, 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 but Bill Nye does end up giving the gang assistance in the form of a hologram because he's spending Halloween at home handing out candy to the kids and giving them and their parents a good old-fashioned science lesson. But Bill's contribution he is at first he gives the gang a, a, a new version of the Mystery Machine, simply entitled the Mystery Machine X, which by the way did look very cool, but Fred's obviously resistant to it because he says the old Mystery Machine told me she'll be fine. But anyway, guys, Bill kind of does and does not like help Mystery Incorporated. He does just say that he can't think of any reason why somebody would want to basically bring a whole bunch of pumpkins to life and to a ruined Crystal Cove because there's just no reason except for a lithium crystal mining project, and the lithium crystals are where Crystal Cove gets its name from. But Bill reveals that project was shut down years ago due to concerns of global warming. Well, it's after the sheriff getting captured and the jack-o'-lantern basically destroying the regular Mystery Machine and even after ripping apart Mystery Machine X, that and Velma going into her mind palace with Scooby and Shaggy as extra help one last time to try and cover the real reason of why jack-o'-lanterns would be targeting Crystal Cove and kidnapping everybody in it and turning it into jack-o'-lanterns. That Velma finally gives in and says, all right, pumpkins, scarecrow, fear gas, whatever this is," which, by the way, that Velma and even Scarecrow, after he says that he was just in town in Crystal Cove to get a chance to see Elvira again, like I mentioned, because Scarecrow's a big fan, that he reveals that his fear gas would not have this type of effect at least in the Scooby world. If we're familiar with Dr. John's work in Batman the Animated Series, we know differently. But Velma finally does stand up to the kind of master jack-o'-lantern, which, by the way, whenever somebody gets eaten by the head by the head pumpkin, the power short circuits around the whole entire area that the master pumpkins spin around. and and uh, and 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 even the sheriff ends up seemingly getting consumed by the master pumpkin, but it's out but it's after Mystery Inc. has basically run out of ideas, and Velma's um, mind palace did failure, and Bill still no help because he's handing out candy and giving science um, lessons at the door. That Velma finally says, all right, jack-o'-lanterns, fear gas, drones, whatever this is, you want me afraid you got it. Because I'm not actually afraid of you. I'm afraid of letting my friends down. And real quickly, guys, but before I tell you who the true villain of Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo is, I guess I might as well mention that in this movie, even though Scoob already covered the fact that Scooby and Shaggy are, 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 are the heart of Mystery Inc. Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo touches on it again because you know, I guess the direct-to-DVD movies haven't touched on it yet, but it's through their one last in vain trip to Velma's mind palace that she says to Scooby and Shaggy that I never realized how important you guys are to the team, and I'm sorry for kind of yelling at you and not believing you earlier. And it's after that and after Fred sets up a variety of caveman-looking traps to basically try and catch the jack-o'-lanterns and avenge the Mystery Machine, and using his faithful trap app, because that's right, everybody, I may have forgot to mention, but even traps have their own app now in the Scooby-Doo DVD space, I guess. But it is eventually revealed that the true villain, but behind what's been going on in Crystal Cove all night long is the sheriff himself, or the man that's been impersonating the sheriff of Crystal Cove, Cutler Toe, uh, uh, aka the trash monster of Scranton, who 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 is shown in photographs of the gang catching him before. Uh, uh, and because the gang bested Cutler before, after he got out of prison, and after finding out that he lost all of his stats due to being sent to prison by Mystery Inc. because they found out that 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 the trash monster wasn't real, and there was something else hurting the environment even more, which Bill says was global warming. Cutler decided to get revenge on Mystery Inc. by and replenishes wealth by traveling traveling to Crystal Cove and imprisoning the sheriff and basically sending the gang away to the Himalayas in Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13 Ghosts, and back to New Louisiana for Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Also, that Cutler Toe could mine for Crystal Cove's famous crystals, and that toxic waste wasn't really for the lithium crystals to basically make him rich again, and he actually reveals that because of what Mystery did to him, that supposed toxic waste, what wasn't actually toxic waste. It 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 was just a large amount of cracked green glow sticks, and yeah, guys, the and unfortunately we don't see Scarecrow anymore after he finally gets out of the Arkham transport truck and puts on his costume and is seemingly carried away by the master robot pumpkin. But Cutler Toe is sent off to prison again by the Crystal Cove Police Department with a little help from Bill again, and yeah, guys, and that's basically how Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo ends. Now again, guys, I am going to say it again. In my opinion, this is just mine, but I still do believe that Scooby-Doo and the Goblin Gang is superior to Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. But I will say I still did enjoy Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo that so very much indeed. And it was cool to see some more Hanna-Barbera references from the end of the movie. One of the people that's throwing the party that Scooby and the gang eventually say they'll go to, from being dressed up in a Fred Flintstone costume to a blow up of Frankenstein Jr. to Velma even referencing that we've had Scooby ever since he was a pup named Scooby-Doo. I still do think that this was a wonderful addition and a marvelous one to Scooby's DVD catalog, and it ends with Elvira basically again in Daphne's clothes now, because they switched outfits, and we find out that Elvira's wig it 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 is actually a monkey, and so she basically she has the final line in saying that there you have it, my children, and then she tells us the moral of the story. Then her head turns around and a monster comes out and says, "Happy Halloween," and the credits roll after that. So again, guys, I do still think Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King is better, but Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo is still a very sweet, fright fright fest of fun, and it is worth picking up whether you got it in the past 48 hours from Walmart, where it is currently located as an exclusive, or if you wait until October 6th when it's released everywhere else. I think you'll still find this enjoyable. The last thing I'll say is that it is one of the shorter movies, clocking in at an hour and 16 minutes. So it actually feels like a old school Cartoon Network original movie that they could have aired if they were still operating like how the old Cartoon Network used to, instead of Warner Brothers having to put it out right away on their own. But give Happy Halloween Scooby Doo a watch, you guys. I I I think if you just want a good, wholesome Halloween themed movie to show the kids kids this Halloween, uh, I think Happy Halloween Scooby Doo will do the trick. But I want to reiterate one final time: Scooby Doo and the Goblin King is better. And if you disagree, that's fine. But I'm just saying, even though I did enjoy this, and it is a more group effort with even Cowboy Mike and Cowgirl Michelle even trying out the gang out. Scooby Doo and the Goblin King is for me Scooby's definitive Halloween movie, but this is sure one enjoyable addition to that collection. Even though it's not Halloween yet, in the words of the movie, Happy Halloween, everybody, and certainly thank thanks again as always, Scooby, and one last big Happy Halloween, Scooby Doo. Also, Goblin King is better.